Welcome Capricorn to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 2nd of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. Mercury's been going through a very long journey in your sister Earth sign of Virgo. So since the end of July, you've probably been doing a lot of thinking, researching, planning, maybe even traveling. Perhaps there's been a contractual issue you've been grappling with. And in the early part of this week, Mercury does go face to face with Neptune. If you do need to grapple with a document, an agreement, a contract, do analyse the details with a great deal of care. But also at the start of this week, Venus in the part of your chart that's to do with deep connections links really well to Mars in the most visible part of your situation to do with goals and ambitions. Your personality power and your ambition are working well together here, but those two planets, ironically, then end up being challenged by Pluto in your sign as this week goes on. Also Thursday, Mercury switches to Libra, the sign of listening, of communication, of balance. It's an air sign, and of course it's cardinal, so it here for you is very much about perhaps thinking about applying for a job, doing some retraining, gaining some accreditation, discussing things with some important people, but it is blocked almost immediately by Saturn, your ruler in your sector of everyday communication. So choose your words carefully with Neptune opposite Mercury, Saturn quincunx Mercury later in the week. Choose your words with care, with thoughtfulness, particularly if you are discussing anything with siblings, perhaps about Christmas plans. It's a bit early, I suppose. Christmas can often be controversial within families, but also seriously, perhaps around community interactions, neighbours, because frankly, Capricorn, what's going to happen from the middle of this week is Mars switches in its influence, the diplomatic influence with Venus, to a very forceful one with Pluto. So the two ruling planets of Scorpio, Mars and Pluto, are in a very tense right angle, but Mars also goes face to face with the North Node in your sector of emotion since the 17th of July and has been squaring with Pluto since then. Your emotional world may have been quite complex over those intervening months because Pluto is about power, but it's about transformation. The North Node can also be about transformation, but sometimes it's a karmic transformation. Perhaps we end up getting with the North Node what we've invested in the past. And because Pluto in the first house in our own sign can want to, in a way, dominate somewhat, but dominating an emotional part of ourselves or our relationships with others is a risky thing to do. So what Mars comes along and does, it could be that someone else comes into the equation. It could be, for example, that you need to deal with another influential person in your work who themselves likes to be the person who really calls the shots. So the potential for quite a big clash really does increase as this week draws to a close. There's also a quarter moon in your opposite sign of Cancer on Friday. Again, professional relationships a bit complex. What does it all mean in terms of Mars and Pluto? I think that's the big one. Well, Pluto in your own sign since 2008 has changed your life hugely. I think what Mars has been doing is giving you a lot of extra confidence recently. What I would say is use that confidence carefully. With Saturn applying to Mercury, use your words carefully. Venus in your 8th house, shared resources but also intimacy, is also ironically in a quincunx with Pluto. So if you're someone who wants to really totally get your own way on virtually every decision, I think you're going to experience some conflict this week. If you're more of a negotiator, you're more inclusive, you're someone who tends to work things through with others, I think you can get through this week okay. It is a very supercharged, powerful, potent week for everyone. So it won't just be for you, but I just feel because Pluto is in your sign, if since 2008 you've been evolving a greater need to have a firmer grip on your life direction, which would be totally understandable. And you don't feel that you're getting the respect, acknowledgement, recognition or praise that you deserve either in your home and family life or your professional world, I think your frustration can reach a peak this week. But with Pluto, it can also be where we're totally availing, easygoing, work in a collaborative way, and other people tend to feel that they can dominate us. So one of those two scenarios is possible. So it is a week that does need to be handled with care. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd be honoured if you would like, comment or subscribe. Also, if you'd like to take advantage of a unique opportunity, year 2023 is speeding by, year 2024 is racing towards us. If you order your year 2024 personal horoscope forecast now, based on your unique birth data, I'll prepare for you the rest of year 23 free of charge, but you'll also get the whole of 24, plus in my special package of 30% off, your character analysis report, your life roadmap, which will help you to understand the patterns that have played out in your life so far and gain a much more intimate understanding of how to work with the energies that you were born with. And each chart is totally unique to the person I prepare it for. Please see the link below for more information.